Where did life come from? Did it come from an all-powerful being who made each of us in his own image? Or was it the perfect combination of organic materials that came together at the perfect time? Beyond that, how has life changed since its initial beginnings? This is a constant debate between religion and science. The religious sect seems to focus on a belief system, whereas science requires hard data from scientific experiments. Thanks to major research breakthroughs, scientists are able to present data that shows the truth in evolution. Evolution is a genetic change, and it's a gradual change of organisms over time due to selective pressures, which could be limited resources, mating preferences, etc. Today I'm going to present three main types of evolutionary evidence. The first of which is the fossil record. Fossils are remnants of once living plants and animals that are now embedded in sedimentary rock. These fossils give scientists almost a slideshow of how things have developed from the earliest beginnings to modern day. Looking at the changes that have occurred over time, we are also able to fill in the missing links in the evolution of certain individuals. One of the most famous examples of this is the link between dinosaurs and modern-day birds. This fossil is called Archaeopteryx, which is a 150-million-year-old fossil. The Archaeopteryx has jaws with teeth and a bony tail like dinosaurs, but has feathers like a bird. Another prime example of how we can use fossils to prove evolution comes in the form of the hundreds of fossils we have found in Africa that link the modern-day human to an ape-like creature. These fossils show the progression from ape-like organisms who walked on their knuckles and lived mainly in trees to present-day humans who are bipedals and spend most of their time on the ground. But fossils are not the only piece of evidence. Scientists also look deeper inside organisms for links to the past. DNA, or deoxyribonucleic acid, is a genetic component of all living things, no matter how large or how small. DNA is passed down to us from our parents and determines our looks, our behaviors, and their way of life. Scientists believe that the fact that all living things share the same genetic makeup, we must all have evolved from a common ancestor. Scientists also look at the body structures of different organisms. Human arms, forelegs of dogs and cats, the wings of birds, and the flippers of whales and seals all share the same three bones. These bones are the humerus, radius, and ulna. These bones are used slightly different in each organism, but their similarity again points to a common ancestor. The last piece of evidence I'm going to present to you exists at the global level. The variety and sometimes lack of variety of life that certain corners of the world have is of great interest to researchers. They're most interested in Hawaii, New Zealand, and Australia. They're interested in these places because they're isolated from the rest of the world, and that makes them have very specific types of organisms and a lack of some very specific types of organisms found in other places of the world. Australia is one of the most important for researchers because of its presence of marsupials. Marsupials are the animals that have pouches where the development of their young is completed in their pouch. Before humans came to Australia, there was no placental animals like dogs or cats, only marsupials. The fact that marsupials are only present in Australia and that was the only type of animal tells researchers that the first animal must have been a marsupial in Australia, and it has evolved over time into the hundreds of different types of marsupials now found in Australia. Another reason that they're interested in these isolated locations is that scientists are able to use these locations as modern-day examples of evolution that they can keep an eye on. So they can watch evolution in action by just looking at these isolated areas of the world that are not influenced by outside ecosystems. Using modern technologies, scientists are able to discover the three pieces of evidence I discussed and use them to prove the presence of evolution. Fossils provided the missing links between certain organisms. DNA says that we have the same genetic code, therefore we must have a common ancestor. And the geographic distribution of certain organisms, especially those in isolated areas, shows us evolution in action. The debate will continue, but evolution is hard to deny. Evolutionists do not claim to know how the Earth was created, just how it has changed since its initial creation. I hope you've enjoyed my speech and that you are open to the amazing discoveries evolutionists provide for us.